Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we're all doing well. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. I'm going to talk about a game that I've been fairly addicted to since it came out, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Now, the one thing I love is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been a game I have played on and off since I was a child. You know, I played it as a kid when it was bare bones as hell. I took a long time, especially when I went to like secondary school. I put it to one side. When I got to working for the first time, then I started playing it again. So that was probably late 2013. And since then, you know, I've built decks, played the game and stuff like that, and I absolutely love it. And I'll tell you one thing with Master Duel is it is the perfect game from Konami for Yu-Gi-Oh! The games we've had in the past with Legacy of the Duelist and then Link Evolution on that were brilliant games. Make no mistake about it. The fact that you can play through basically the anime and stuff like that was brilliant. You had so many opportunities with deck building and stuff like that. Fabulous. I loved both games. Hands down, one of the best experiences I've ever had. But with Master Duel, I believe it takes it to that next level. You know, it is a free game. It's fantastic. And, you know, the microtransactions in it, you know, I hear a lot of people say that, you know, it is quite pay to win, but it really isn't. The more you play the game, the more you grind on the game, you don't have to spend a penny on this game. Since I downloaded it, whether it had been on my Xbox, my PC, or my phone, which are all separate accounts as well, I haven't spent a single penny on it. I don't plan on spending any money on it at all. I just really do love this game. You know, I'm not an ultra competitive person when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't declare myself to know all the ins and outs. I don't know every meta deck. I don't know every meta card. I don't know every chain. I don't know everything like that. I play the game for pure fun. The one thing I do love nowadays is I have so much Yu-Gi-Oh! Content on my YouTube page from fabulous creators. I literally watch every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Video I can. Whether I'm watching funny duels, I'm watching funny moments, I'm watching deck building, I'm watching pack openings, I'm watching everything, because what it helps me is, especially with some of the duels as well as I'm watching, is I'm learning how to play the game at the same time. I've played the game for years. I know all the summoning mechanics. I know how to do every move. But it's brilliant to see from another person's mind how the game is played. And I tell you one thing that I do not like about Master Duel, it is how sweaty and how just mind-numbing it can be when you come up against decks that are built to annoy you. Now, I play around with online mode with people and stuff like that. I'm not going to go all out there and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to build like an amazing deck, because I'm not that person. I like building fun decks. I like building decks that, you know, that are pretty cool to play and stuff like that. I don't care for meta. There are a few of my decks that have got meta cards in it, but I don't go out of my way to build a meta deck. That's just not me. I do have a Drytron deck, but here's my thing with that. So when Drytrons came out, when was it? It must have been about 6 months ago in the actual card game. I remember packing every card in the Drytron archetype, bar Draconids and Drytron Nova. Every other card I had, Meteor Shower, Eclipse, Meteorness Drytron, Quadrantis, I had them all, right? And I always said to myself, I'm going to build this deck. I didn't realise how expensive that deck is to build in England. But I never realised just how good they would become, you know, and the fact that so many people are pissed off with them. So I have a Drytron deck for the sole purpose of the fact that I just wanted to build that deck to say I had it. I don't care how meta it is and stuff like that. Like, I play it just because I like the cards. Like, I'm attempting to build... The next deck I want to build on Master Duel is a DDD deck. I have the DDD deck in person. I have it. I've played it with friends. I love it. That is my next thing to build, and I've just, you know, that's one of the reasons. Like, whenever I go into online play, and do you know what, I will mess around with doing. I'll make videos on it. I'll do live videos, potentially stream it and stuff like that, because I'm having a lot of fun with this game. You know, I know for a fact I'll go into it. The amount of Eld licks I'll find. You know, I mean, the DD Dynamite thing at the moment, which is killing. I think it's sort of done now. It's not as big as it was, but obviously it was quite bad a few weeks ago. So, and the one thing that I have with Yu-Gi-Oh! Rather than something like Call of Duty or Battlefield or any other game that I play is, I don't tend to get that pissed off when I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it isn't... I mean, if I'm coming up... I know I'm not the best player, you know, and if I come up against someone who is better than me, you know, in a card game, fair enough, you know. I can't really say, like, you know the cards better than I do, you know how to deck build better than I do. You know, it's different if it was Call of Duty when you can just accuse someone of cheating. You can't cheat in Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially with Master Duel, the fact there is no ban list. You know, I mean, there are certain cards that are not in the game, like Red Eyes Dragoon, which I really am struggling to understand why that's not in the game. Yet you can have cards like Max C in the game and all that sort of stuff. Like, I don't know if Konami are ever going to plan to put a tier like ban list into the game. I know it's based off of the OCG rather than what we have in the TCG, because if it was based on the TCG, like every major card that people play would be gone. So in that sense, I do quite like it, because, you know, players that haven't played the game or are new to the game and stuff like that, that haven't experienced some of these cards, like the grass is greener, you know, people have never heard of that card because literally as soon as it was released, it was banned. You know, you've got cards like that because they never got to play them, you know, if they went, you know, with tournaments and stuff like that. And I think as well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't really, I wouldn't call it an accessible game, you know, in the card format, because with certain decks, you know, they aren't cheap. You know, the very first deck I ever built with my own money was a Satella Knight deck, and I still have this deck, and it cost me, I think, £85 to build the full deck from eBay. I did it. I don't regret it because I love the deck. It's still one that I like to play to this day. But even when you consider, like, deck boxes are like 50, 60 quid minimum, and then when they released deck boxes, I think it was like Ghosts of the Past, that, you know, we had like ghost rares in there that were selling for £300-400, and as soon as they released them, you know, they took them away, and then when they remade them, they brought them back out, they doubled the price, you know, and there was people selling unsealed or sealed boxes of them on eBay for like 150 quid for people to buy, with no guarantee you're going to get a ghost rare in them. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not an accessible game to play in person, but with Master Duel, the fact that you can play it with friends and stuff like that is brilliant. I'm still yet to use that feature. I'm going to use that feature because there's a couple of my mates that do play the game and I really want to play it with them. So that's an idea for it, and that's why I like Master Duel to this. Like, they've taken what made Duel Links really cool and they've made it like a million times better, bringing it to a wider audience, putting it just on every single device you can think of, whether you're PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, they're on everything. Whereas Duel Links was very limited because it was only on your mobile device, or eventually then it would be ported over to PC as well. So there's so much to love about Master Duel, and the one thing I hope with it is they continue this trend. They don't, you know, fall down a rabbit hole of like trying to do too much, like get rid of things and stuff like that. Like what they've done, you know, the two modes they put in, the Xyz Festival and the non-rare events, are really, really cool, because with those events, you're going to have people that really do love the game and just want to challenge themselves, whereas people that just grind to get to Platinum 1 with like a troll deck or a deck that's going to piss you off and stuff like that, they're doing it for their own reasons. You know, I don't plan on ever getting to Platinum. I'm not good enough to get to Platinum. Simple as that. But I will have fun with the game, and I will try and take one of my decks as far as it can go. You know, I've got a Speedroid Crystron deck, which I absolutely love playing. You know, I've got... I'm trying to think of other decks I've actually built in the game. I can't actually remember a bunch of them, but, you know, on my phone, for example, I have a Speedroid deck, and I'm trying to build a Blue Eyes engine type deck. It's one I've seen from Rhymestyle, the YouTuber. If you've not seen Rhymestyle before, please go watch him, because he's a really good Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator. And I say I would never have known about him until Master Duel became a thing. And now every video he puts out, I will watch, because it's just so fun to watch and see him, the way that he plays. And if there's one thing I do want to bring up with Master Duel, it's something that I've seen a lot of people do recently, and it's become a trend over the last sort of year or so, when the first person I saw to ever do this, and I would watch him do it, was Jev would spectate Warzone players. You know, he'd purposely kill himself and then would just watch Warzone players. He was the first person to really do it, and it blew up. You know, you started seeing Twitch stream, you started seeing Tim do it, I think Nick did it a bunch of times and stuff. And with Master Duel, you've got Duel Live, which I think is a really cool concept. You know, they aren't live duels. We all know they're not live duels. They are hand-picked duels that people have saved. And even then, again, just watching the way they play and stuff like that, you know, I'll then go, oh, I could learn how to do that. You know, I think with that basis, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is going to bring a much wider net to bring people back into the game, to bring people to the game. But look, if you're struggling with the game, you've got plenty of content creators to watch on YouTube. And at the same time, you can watch people play these duels. You might not get a commentary over it because you don't need that. But you can see the way people play the game, how they activate this card, then chain this, then chain that. It is really cool to watch. I will sit there and I will love watching Duel Live and stuff like that. That's a content idea right there. Like, I can just do that. But, it's been overdone so far at this point. But, there is so much to do with Master Duel. And the one thing I do love, and the one thing that I have grinded quite a bit, is the solo mode. The fact that you've got these lore challenges and stuff like that. You've got these decks and they tell you the lore on it. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't a game for most people that would want to go into the lore on it. And I've just gotten past the whole World Chalice, World Legacy, Crawler, freaking all that. Like, that's an expansive lore video to watch and stuff like that. But, even throwing things like that in, that's just another reason to love this game, because Konami really did take their time with this game. It came out of nowhere, this game. I don't remember ever seeing anything ever leaked about this game, everything ever talked about it. I knew there were plans to make a new Yu-Gi-Oh game. I didn't think it would be like this. I was expecting a similar sort of thing to what Legacy is now. I know they're planning, or if they have made, a Sevens version for Nintendo Switch. Whether that's going to take off or not, I don't know. Because right now, I think Master Duel, if they continue the way they're going, they're planning to release more cards into the selection packs. As far as I'm aware, they're going to keep adding new lore solo challenges into that playlist. They're going to keep bringing in different modes to play, like with everyone, like almost like party modes. Like I said, like the Xyz Festival and the non-rare festival. The more they keep doing that, the fan base is going to grow. And as long as they listen to what people are saying, like the prominent content creators that are on YouTube, I really do think this could be one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh games they've ever made, because, if they ever do get to the point where they're going to make a ban list, if they get anything like that right, and as long as it's balanced and stuff like that, I don't see a problem with them bringing in the TCG ban list. Like, some of the cards on there are a bit like, okay, why are they still banned? But there are some cards on there that, it could make Master Duel either really good or it can make it really boring. I can understand the boring part of it because you're taking out fun cards and stuff like that, but you can also understand why, because at the same time, these cards were banned for a reason. If you can't use them in an event, why would you want to use them in a video game? But then that begs the question as well, like, this game is, like I said, it's not pay to win, this game. If you're putting money into the game, that's absolutely fine. Like, you're putting money into the game that you can earn in this game. You can earn gems in-game. Whether you're playing solo mode, whether you're playing against people online, you can earn gems in-game. And then you earn the credits as well, your rare tokens, your normal tokens and all that. You earn them in-game by opening the packs, by dismantling cards and stuff like that, so you can build the deck. That's how I've built all my decks. If you want to put money into the game, I'm not going to say no, don't do it. Do it if you really want to. But, it's one of those things like, you don't have to do it. And I think that's one of the reasons why Master Duel works so well. And like I said, like, this game can keep getting better and better. As far as I'm aware, I think they're two boxes behind from the TCG. So the last two boxes that we've got and everything should be coming into the game probably within the next month or two. And I think as long as they keep that, as long as they keep it to 2, then I think the game's going to be in a good place going forward with introducing new content and stuff like that. One thing they probably can look at, I think, the original season, I think, ends in a couple of days and stuff like that. Will they change up, like the selection packs and stuff like that? Will they make more cards more prominent in it? I don't know. Something like that could work, add more avatars into it and stuff. There is so much customization that you can have with this game. Like I say, if Konami listened to the public, they listen to the community about what is right with the game, what is wrong with the game. Like I said, Master Duel can go down as probably the best Yu-Gi-Oh game ever made. I do plan on having a lot more videos based on Master Duel, whether it's stuff in the background and I talk about another topic, but there will be a lot of Master Duel content because, I said, I am really in love with this game. Like I said, there's not really a game that I've grinded this much and really, really loved. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Let me guys know what you think about Master Duel, like whether you're playing it, whether you have aren't going to play it, like, what's your best and sort of worst experience with this game so far? If you want to see me sort of make more videos on this, or even potentially stream it, like I could go back to streaming, especially with the game like this, then hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe as well, and I will speak to you all in the next video. Peace.